Well, yesterday, guys, I was actually scrolling through YouTube and then I saw that Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook CEO, was on Rogan. Now, guys, Mark Zuckerberg has been in the news lately because, for one thing, he has now ended DEI at Meta, aka Facebook. Folks, we should be so happy, man, that President Trump won this election, not only with the Electoral College, but with the popular vote. Because some of these companies are waking up now and realizing, wait a minute, the American people are not down with this stuff. The American people are sick of the wokeness. The American people want the best person for the job. Because DEI is working out so great out there in LA, right? With the woke fire chief, just because she's a lesbian. Karen Bass, she's the mayor simply because she's black and a woman. Failures. DEI, man, should actually be called DIE because people can die. And that's on full display out there in LA. But anyway, back to Zuckerberg, man. Zuck was actually on with Joe Rogan, and he really did expose the Biden administration, his handlers, because we know that Biden ain't controlling nothing, a bunch of communist Marxists involved with the censorship over there. I believe that these people should be arrested because the Constitution does not allow for the federal government to actually censor speech. It doesn't. But the authoritarian Democrats didn't care. When it came to the virus, the Wuhan virus, they said fall in line or else. And it really wasn't just Facebook, man. It was YouTube as well. Like if you said masks don't work or anything like that, they were trying to take you down, kick you off the platform, give you a strike or whatever. I mean, some creators lost their channels. It was ridiculous, man. But now that Trump won and he won big, common sense seems to be coming back to the American people because we lost our common sense. I mean, you actually had guys like Tim Walz putting tampons in the men's restroom. What sane person believes that's okay? But shockingly, guys, look at this here. I wish I can actually say I was making this up. I was stunned when I saw this one right here. We already knew about the censorship from the federal government when it came to Facebook. But look at this here, guys. Mark Zuckerberg removes tampons from men's bathrooms at Meta offices. I didn't know that he actually went full tampon Tim and put tampons in the men's restroom. Now, Zuck, you have to know, man, that they serve no purpose whatsoever in the men's restroom. Why? Because men can't use them. It's just that simple. We don't have the biological equipment to use it. That is a fact right there. Look here, it says Mark Zuckerberg announced on Friday that his Meta company, which operates Facebook and Instagram, had abandoned its DEI practices. As part of the move, the company told facilities managers to remove the tampons from the men's bathrooms. One thing, guys, I'm pretty sure they weren't getting used. A complete waste of money. Quote, that same day at Meta's offices in Silicon Valley, the New York Times reported, Texas and New York, facilities managers were instructed to remove tampons from men's bathrooms, which the company had provided for non-binary and transgender employees who used the men's restroom and who may have required sanitary pads. Two employees said, wait a minute, this happened in Texas too? One thing, I didn't know that Meta even had a Texas office, but I know that they were actually moving their content moderation to Texas. That was even out here, guys. Now, I'm curious. How many transgender employees do you actually have a Meta? That's what I'm curious about right there. I mean, I got to be honest, guys. I worked in the corporate world. I've seen 0 transgenders in the companies I work for. I work for oil and gas companies and some other companies as well. Never saw one single transgender person. I mean, non-binary, man, you know, that's just really, like I'm a man right here. And I say, I'm not really a man. I'm not really a woman. I'm non-binary. Even though I act the same. But some of these non-binaries, you know, they have the purple hair and stuff like that. But anyway, let's continue on. Some people could hardly believe that this had been the state of things at the social media giant. I mean, Tim Pool is shocked right here. He says, ha, 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 ha. Holy fuck, it's true. I had no idea, guys. I didn't know that Zuckerberg allowed tampons in men's restrooms. But now I guess he is finally listening to the people and saying, wait a minute, we don't want this stuff. No sane person wants tampons in men's restrooms. No one. I mean, even Democrat voters don't believe in this stuff, man. Well, maybe in San Francisco, you know. But still, this is insane. The move comes as Zuckerberg has made a sharp right political pivot in recent months. He had a meeting with President-elect Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago home, after which he announced a change to the fact-checking policies in Meta, announced that content moderation team will be moving to Texas, and said that the era of censorship on both Instagram and Facebook was over. And a lot of companies, man, seem to be packing up from the People's Republic of California, and they love to move to Texas. Now, Elon Musk moved Tesla to Texas, I believe. Also, X is moving to Texas. Now, I got one bit of concern here, man. I know Elon Musk is on the right path. Maybe Zuck is. I don't know. A lot of people don't trust him. I can probably see Zuckerberg packing up Meta and moving it over here to Texas too. But I must warn you, if Zuck is watching this, do not California my Texas. We don't want that. If you do move, remember why you move. We're not a bunch of leftists over here in Texas. Well, Austin is, but still. I mean, if you come to Texas, man, don't move it to Austin. You might as well just stay in California. Anyway, the Times notes that the process by which these changes have been made is different than status quo for the company. Quote, the entire process was highly unusual, the Times said. Meta typically alters policies that govern its apps, which include Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, by inviting employees, civic leaders, and others to weigh in. Any shifts generally take months, but Mr. Zuckerberg turned this latest effort into a closely held 6-week sprint, blindsiding even employees on his policy and integrity teams. In other words, guys, he's like, I'm not going to allow any of these woke employees to have a say. Because I'm willing to bet, guys, if he allowed the employees to actually have a say in this, then there would have been an uproar from the left. Yeah, leftist employees over there would have been outraged. Wow. I didn't know, man, that Facebook had fallen this low into the wokeness. I knew about the censorship. But when you're talking about tampons in men's restrooms, that is a whole nother story right there. I'm wondering if Zuck now is going to tell these, I highly doubt there's very many transgenders. I really do. But let's just say that he has an actual biological woman who identifies as a male. Is Zuck not going to tell that person you must use the women's restroom? That's what he should do. Anyway, Facebook especially has been a bastion of woke during the Trump years and the COVID era. It was in 2020 that Facebook had implemented a third-party fact-checking program that allowed groups to go through user posts and flag those for removal or suppression that did not align with specific partisan narratives. Those fact-checkers suppressed and censored user content about the 2020 election about gender ideology, about climate change, and about COVID lockdowns, vaccine mandates, and vaccine efficacy, among other things. When a post is flagged by a fact checker, the user would be notified, and often the post would no longer be available, making it hard for the user to appeal the ruling of the fact checkers. Once the fact checker made a final decision on an appeal, no further appeal was possible. Sounds pretty similar to YouTube here, because what was it? It was early last year or early 2023. I think it was early last year, if I'm not mistaken, on this particular channel on YouTube. We had a video get taken down, and I got a problem here with the YouTube monetization system, where it goes through these chats to see if the video can be monetized so we can make money, and then it turns green, and then all of a sudden they'll go back and they'll demonetize the video, or in this case, what I'm actually talking about, they'll actually take down the whole video and give you a strike. And they did that. And the video was about gender ideology on Dr. Phil. I believe that's what it was. They took it down. Now you're able to appeal it, but the appeal came back almost instantly, like nobody actually reviewed it, and the strike stayed, and we were offline for a week. I don't like that, man. I really, really don't like that. But man, I can't believe Zuck actually did that with the tampons in the men's restroom. That's just dumb, man. That is a waste of company funds to do something like that. But back over here, man, Mark Zuckerberg tells Joe Rogan that Biden administration acting like totalitarians with censorship demands. And I've been saying, man, and the Republicans in the House, man, they have been in power in the House for the past 2 years. No articles of impeachment were put on Joe Biden because the Republicans are weak. The man was actively out there censoring Americans, his administration, censoring their free speech rights. Nothing happened to Biden. Wow. We got a video clip, guys, of Zuckerberg talking about how these federal people, these Biden handlers, would actually call and curse them out because they refuse to censor people. But eventually they bent the knee. And I don't believe Zuck should get too much credit here, but he is having an awakening, probably really just save his business. But anyway, let's listen to this.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
Oh, did you record any of those phone calls?
I don't think we but I think
I want to listen.
I mean, there are emails. the emails are published. It's all kind of out there, and they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous. They wanted us to take down this meme of Leonardo DiCaprio looking at a TV talking about how 10 years from now or something, you're going to see an ad that says, okay, if you took a COVID vaccine, you're eligible for, for this kind of payment, like this sort of like class action lawsuit type meme. And they're like, no, you have to take that down. And we just said, no, we're not going to take down humor and satire. We're not going to take down things that are true. And then at some point, I guess, I don't know, it flipped a bit. I mean, Biden, when he gave some statement at some point, I don't know if it was a press conference or to some journalists, where he basically was like, these guys are killing people. And I don't know, then like all these different agencies and branches of government basically just like started investigating, coming after our company. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Wow.
So at the beginning, it kind of seemed like, okay, we should give a little bit of deference to the government and the health authorities on how we should play this. But when it went from, 2 weeks to flatten the curve to, and like in the beginning, it was like, okay, there aren't enough masks. Masks aren't that important. To then it's like, oh no, you have to wear a mask. And, everything was shifting around. it just became very difficult to kind of follow. And this really hit the most extreme, I'd say, during the Biden administration when they were trying to roll out the vaccine program. And I'm generally like pretty pro rolling out vaccines. I think on balance, the vaccines are more positive than negative. But I think that while they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who was basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
that talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration.
Wow. You heard that right there, guys. You heard that right there. The authoritarian Biden administration, and nobody's suffering consequences for this, guys. Well, yeah, they're going to be removed from office because President Trump is coming in just under, what is today's date? I think it's the 11th. Yeah, the 11th. 9 days, man. 9 days until Trump is back. This administration, man, and Zuck, man, I still believe Zuck is a left-leaning guy. Now, word is he's supposed to be like a libertarian now or something. Is he more of a left-leaning libertarian? I highly doubt he's a right-wing libertarian for sure. But maybe Zuck was thinking of himself, I'm pretty liberal, but maybe I really don't like this authoritarian communism where the government is telling me what to do with my business. I mean, the government, man, needs to be far away, stay way out of these social media companies, man. They should be able to run their companies the way they want to do it when it comes to freedom of speech. The government shouldn't be interfering with the speech of people on social media. The Constitution protects that. But the communists in the Biden administration, they were against that, and they were pressuring social media companies to censor people. And the censorship has been going on way, way, way too long, guys. I mean, it got bad over here on YouTube. It got bad. It's gotten a little bit better now on YouTube. But still, man, I don't like the censorship. I don't like how YouTube plays with people's money. But I'll say this here, man. Make sure you guys follow us on Rumble. The links are in the description. And follow us on Locals. You can support us there because we have our member live streams every single Friday. Also, channel memberships also on YouTube as well. Bunch of different ways to actually support us, guys. But the censorship, it was a real problem, man. It was getting bad. Really bad, guys. So, gonna leave right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.